Good afternoon, everyone. This is Vinod, and today we are going to see the next logic in Tally, that is how to add inventory in Tally. This is our lesson 6 and also our video 6 in Tally.ERP 9 snippet, your YouTube channel, and your learning bookkeeping series 1.2. In this video, we are going to show you how to work with stocks and what are the basic things that you will do with a stock. This is going to be 2 videos right now on this point. The video number 6 will be talking about how to add a simple opening stock, and sometimes we will be having a complicated data source also. So let's see how to do that. So this is the first book that I'm talking about. I'll hand it over to you for free when you forward your mail. Once you get to know what is there in this list, so that allows you to handle Tally better. So today's logic that we are about to see is how to work with inventory info. So this is the stock information that I want to feed, and I'm creating a brand new company here called inventory, and I'm going to just keep the opening balance as 1/4/2020. I'm not feeding any other data, and once I normally create a company, and you can see that I have inventory information in here. When I get into inventory information, you get the following menus. In this inventory information, I'm about to add only the first 3 options of it: stock group, stock item, and unit submissions. When I go to the particular exercise, I have mentioned a note below. That is, when you create a stock item, I always create the unit submissions first and stock item last. So that is a way I can handle the data better, and I don't want to use any other shortcuts to go through it to get my data done. So first I'm going to create my unit submissions and create. When I create unit submissions, I have 4 different field comes into play: type, symbol, formal name, and number of decimal places. When I go to type, by giving a backspace, you can see that I have 2 different methods. One is simple, another one is compound. If you're adding more than 1 unit submissions in your stock item, you're buying the stock item in one dimension and selling them in another dimension, then you may need a compound units to do so. So that's why we are creating a compound unit. If not, if you are buying a product in one particular dimension, selling them in the same dimension, then you never need a compound unit here. I'm going to create all the simple units here. I'm going to use simple. I'll give you a small idea how to create a compound as we go forward. So in my XYZ list, you can see that I have a unit column comes in place with a short name called NOS, set, pairs, and meters. So I'm going to start with NOS. The name of NOS will be numbers and 2. And when I go to the set, again I have to give my own short name here. If I try to give the same name twice, probably the next logic will not go. I have to give maybe a different name for my symbol, formal name. When you add a symbol, please don't add a symbol beyond 6 characters, including your spaces and doses that you're going to add. And I'm going to just give 2 here, and the next logic that I'm going to add is meters. And finally, I'm going to add S. So these are the units of measures that I feed according to my unit column here. Then I'm going to create the group. So if you see, each and every item list has a group there: Windows air conditioner, split air conditioners, and spare parts. So you can add them here. So I'm going to create the first point, Windows air conditioner. Or whenever I create a brand new stock group, and again, as you see, I'm creating the very first stock group in the entire system in here. So the stock groups are not added defaultly. They will require, or they will have a different requirement on each and every company. So there is no universal style of stocks that we can maintain. So that is why Tally gave the option of creating everything from scratch. Most of my stock fields will be created by us, and only one of the stock lists have a unique, or maybe we call it as a default item available. So when I come to the next exercise, probably I'll explain you that. So here I'm going to just make analysis. Then the next topic that I have is split R conditioners. I cannot put them under window R conditioners, so I'm going to keep them as primary, and so third option is yes. Finally, I have spare parts. I'm going to even keep that as primary and set this should quantity of item be added as yes. And now I've done my stock group also. Now I can create my items. So I'm going to create all the items in one shot. So I'm going to use for the first time a multiple stock item creation. When I go down here, I'm going to pick up any one of the items. So I'm going to just come down to the window air conditioner and I'm going to feed the value. So if you do it one by one, that is always a safer part. Again, I'll show you how to do one at a time. So I'm going to just say Samsung 0.75 ton. This comes into the group called window air conditioner, and numbers of the units of measures. And I don't have any standard rates as such, so I'm going to just leave those components. And I'll come down here, I'll add the quantity and the rates. Automatically my full value will come to me. So once I save it, now I can give the next item called LG 0.75. Again, Windows air conditioner, numbers, control N to the last line, 25 numbers at the rate of 6,850 each, and I get the valuation here. Then I'm going to have the next item called Godrej, 0.75 ton, and giving the Windows air conditioners, numbers, control N, the 30 numbers at 7,000 rupees. So these are three items with different tonnages is coming up to me. So I'm going to just go back to my multiple group item creation and go back to this point. Now I'm going to create next Samsung 1 ton numbers, and the quantum is 10, 6850. And now I'm going to say LG 1 ton numbers, again 15 numbers, 7150. And I'm going to just say Godrej 1 ton numbers, 9 numbers at 7,300 per piece. Then again the Samsung comes into play. This time it's 1.5 ton numbers, again 22 numbers at 7,200 per piece. Then LG 1.5 ton numbers, 13 at 7,400 per piece. 13 here. Be careful when I work with, or when you are working with a data, don't give multiple escapes. Whatever you typed will all be vanished. So keep that in mind. So this is not, I didn't save any of the data here, so I'm just typing it. I'm going to save them at last. So when I deal with this, better not to give an escape when we are working with these data. It's better for us. So that way we will save a lot of time. We don't do what we did earlier. We get everything in place. Now I'm going to just change one of them here. So my order spelling was very odd. So just give a backspace. I never gave an list here. And I'm going to just save it. Now I want to check whether I did everything correctly. So my total should be 1262,300. Come out of the screen. I go back to my stock summary. And now you can see the 1262,300. Yeah, perfect. You can see all the items here. Let me just add the other set of data here. So I'll go back to my stock item again. This time I'm going to work with split air conditioners. So I'm having Daikin 1.5 ton, and again this is also numbers, three numbers of 19850. Daikin 2 tons, numbers again, 2 at 20 pesos 50. Finally I have Daikin 3.7 ton, numbers, one number at 303,850. So now I'll save this. I'm not going to check the report right now, so I'll check the report last. Finally I have spare parts. So I have our AC compressor, and again the AC compressor comes in set, and I'm going to give the quantum as 35 at 3250. Then outdoor units, then again set 75 numbers at 4850, and I have plugs and switches, and this comes as pairs 40 at 350 per pair. Finally we have wiring, and that comes as meters, 100 meters at 95 degrees per meter. So now I can see my reporting. I can go back to my stock summary and give an Alt F1. You can see that my answers are coming in and my data are coming in an alphabetical order here. It's not showing me as I see in my list here. So now I want to make the list look alike. So to do that, I'm going to just press F12 here, go to the bottom part of my screen, and I'm going to just tell the system to sort the method in the other way around. So it's his default method. I'm going to just say alphabetically from Z to A. So now I can see whatever way you see your report here, same logic comes in play. Maybe my total comes on top and the total comes in the bottom in here. That's it. The rest of them are safe. And if you closely watch, I have a total of Windows air conditioners. I have total for the split air conditioners. And when I go to the spare parts, I don't see the total. The reason why I couldn't be able to see the total is because the units are different here. I have a meter, set, and a pair. So I may not be able to get a total of all the three different varieties of units of measures here, but the rest of the above two columns have similar units of measures, so it can total it out and give the answer correctly. So this is how we will deal with our basic inventory. So I'll be adding one more exercise. Our next exercise is going to be with the products. So this is the exercise that we are about to deal with. So I'm just dealing with a Tally product here. So this is what I'm going to do in my next video. So don't forget to subscribe and like my channel, and you get to know how to maintain books of accounts in Tally videos. This is Vinod.